Hi, I'm Ron Balicki. I have an organization called Martial Arts Research Systems. It's a traveling school. We're not in one location. I have a seminar circuit that I do. I travel all over the world teaching on weekends to just a variety of schools. My instructor, his name is Dan Inosanto, one of my instructors. I have been certified as an instructor through him in the art of JKD, Junfang Gung Fu, which is Bruce Lee's martial art, Filipino Kali, and Mafalindo Salat. Mafalindo is the Majapahit, the Philippines, and the Indonesian Empire. It's a kind of a combination of all those systems put together. I hold instructorships also in Thai boxing under Ajahn, which is Master Chai Sarasuti, Yurinaga Nakamura in shoot wrestling, and who else? The late Pununguru Edgar G. Saluti in Lameko Eskrima. I'm also an instructor in Wing Chun Gung Fu under Randy Williams. We're located in Southern California. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I've been in martial arts for, over 30 years. I started with traditional karate, Shorin-ryu. I've gone into taekwondo systems for a while, part of my life. And just being a psycho fan about Bruce Lee, I hunted down Sifu Dan Inosanto, which he got me started in Bruce Lee's martial art of Jeet Kune Do. I've been involved with that. I've been with him since I believe 1983, so I've got some time in with him. I ended up leaving Chicago and moving to Southern California to train, under Dan Inosanto. I ended up running the academy for the Inosanto Academy for about 5 years. And now I've been doing my own thing. I have my traveling school, and my wife and I, we teach just seminars to people from all around the world. How did I get involved in martial arts? I got involved in martial arts, in the 70s, maybe even a little earlier than that, the late 60s. We were starting to see it on television, the whole Green Hornet thing, and I started to look around, and I found actually judo first at a YMCA in Chicago, and I started doing that for a little while, and then I got into some kung fu systems and some karate systems, and I kind of just did it for a little while. You couldn't find too much back then, but I would say in the 70s I found a school called Genki Karate in Chicago, and I started training there for a little bit. And from that, I ended up going to the Degerberg Academy of Martial Arts. My best memory in martial arts. I think my best memories in martial arts were just my time training with Dan Inosanto. I got a lot of time with him. It might not sound like a lot. It's maybe not that exciting like being in tournaments and stuff like that, but it was just a dream of mine to train under him exclusively. And I ended up getting an enormous amount of time with him. And I guess some of my other great memories of martial arts are competing. I remember I started to compete kind of late in my martial art career, but I was at an age where I had to really weigh it out and think, what do I want? And it was something I had always thought about doing, and I dabbled a little bit. I fought some karate tournaments, and I fought in Savat tournaments. And I had seen something called shoot wrestling, and it was way before you had seen the UFC. I was fighting before that, and I remembered watching these guys, and it wasn't boxing, it wasn't kickboxing, and it wasn't wrestling. It was like everything just jumbled together, and the first time seeing it, I was amazed by it. It was scary but fun looking, and it was just something that I thought, I've got to try this or I'll never be happy. And I never competed. I never thought of going on to be world champion or anything like that. I was at a point in my life where I knew I had to make a decision because of my age of getting into this and trying it out. Because fighting, a lot of times if you're past your 20s, they consider you an old man in the fight game. So, here I was, my late 20s when I started shoot wrestling, and then into my 30s, I remember we had to kind of not tell them my age so they would let me come in and fight. Otherwise you have to have sponsors, and in Tokyo it was hard to find sponsors if you were considered an old man, because they didn't want to invest the money in you. So we kind of like left that age thing out there so nobody knew what age I really was, so I could compete. My advice to other martial artists, you know, the whole competition thing, I've come from a background of competition, and you know, they're great, and you know, who says if you raise your hand up you're the champion of the world? It's kind of, you know, it's an ego thing, and it's a way, you know, it's fun, it's a nice way to test yourself, but it's not the ultimate. You know, the ultimate way is, I think, competing against the ceiling you put on yourself. You know, you just want to keep breaking through that ceiling and just keep on striving and thriving for, you know, for yourself to become a better person, a better martial artist, and a better human being. Again, I come from that no-holds-barred fighting background, but there's one thing that does scare me about that background. You know, I see that bad boy attitude coming out, and I think it's important to build that character. Especially like if you're a school owner, I think you need to develop that character within your students. It's an element that we're starting to miss from life in all walks of it, is just that discipline of human nature, and just to become a better person and strive to be better. It's not the ultimate to just be the baddest guy on the mat. I think that there's a lot of things that we need to uphold and keep going. So as a martial artist, you're always trying to build character or help the person next to you develop their character and become a better human being. What's in the future for you? My future, I'm just going to keep training. My whole goal is to be a perpetual student. I keep mentioning Inasano. My Sifu, Dan Inasano, if you asked him to this day, his ultimate goal is to be a student. And he's instilled that in me. I love learning. I've really tried to shut that ego out, saying, oh, this system's better than that system, and my thing is better than yours. And I just try to look for the beauty in everything that someone does. Anybody can be your teacher, you know, and there's something good in every martial arts system. If you look hard enough, you'll find it. Even if it's a lesson of not what to do, you know, and that could be a great lesson within itself. But, you know, if you look at any system, there's something in there for you. So don't turn a blind eye towards it. The only person you're robbing is yourself. So, you know, if we all just ate one food the rest of our life, it'd get pretty boring. We need that variety, that mix of different ethnicities into your meal to make it tasty and good. And the same thing goes for martial arts. Role models. I have a lot of role models. I said this a little earlier in the interview, is you know, I try not to be egotistical in my martial arts, and I look at it in people also. Role models in martial arts that I've had, of course, Dan Inosanto, you know, and I'm going to talk about people that I've met and that I know and that have influenced my life. There are people like Dan Inosanto, who's just instilled a wealth of knowledge in me, and he's taught me how to learn again, which is an amazing thing for me. There's Fred Degerberg. I consider him my second father. He's done more for me than most people have ever done, and he's looked out for me so much, and I love him unconditionally. There's people like Faribor Zazak, who's just helped me along the way, and just kind of helped me with developing myself and my business, and learning to organize myself. And role models, my wife. I look at her, and every time that I think that I'm right, and I realize, I was wrong. She had a good point, and she's really humbled me a lot. And you know, there's a million other people out there that I've met that have had some significant impact in my life. But I would say those are the top people that come to mind right now. If I could give you one thing to think about for yourself, is it doesn't matter if you're the best fighter. It doesn't matter if you're the most talented guy. It doesn't matter much of anything. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. If you could better yourself through martial arts, I recommend, you know, just sticking with it. And it doesn't matter that maybe, you know, you're on the mat and you're getting submitted all the time, or you're not doing well in sparring. It's only one facet or asset that you develop there. There's a lot of other reasons. If we were all in it just to fight, you know, I think you could learn that in 6 months, how to become a little more deadly. I think that if you're doing martial arts, you're trying to develop something within yourself. Be it character, maybe you're into movement, maybe you're into your culture, maybe you're whatever ethnicity that art comes from. Maybe you're interested in another ethnicity, you know. Whatever the case may be, the whole idea behind it is if you're bettering yourself. I've talked about ceilings that we've put over ourselves. I think that you are competing within, if you compete within the ceiling that you put on yourself, over yourself, and you learn to get past that and to keep going to where there are no ceilings that can hold you, I think that you're going to be doing pretty well. You're going to do really, really good. So if my wish for you and for anyone out there or anyone that I teach is just to better yourself. And that's the only person that you should be, you know, trying to impress. I look at it like yoga. If you train under a great yoga teacher, they don't force the pose. They make you listen to your body, and you do the pose that your body allows you to do, and still breathe. And that's the way I look at martial arts. Thank you.